Okay, I think, live. I'm working on a few things. I got a little change to the studio here. I'm doing things a lot differently. I'd love to see, let's see who's out there. Hey, it looks like we've got Jamie's Hack Shack is out there and Mislav is out there. And you two are talking back and forth about Jamie's recent video with his bread bin restore, which was really cool, Jamie. I enjoyed watching you go through that process, especially the whole troubleshooting process. So it's just the three of us right now. As always, these things tend to add or wait a little bit longer before people pop in. Hey, Xaml Brosel, I'm going to just call you Brosel. Hopefully I've said your name correctly. Welcome. It's good to see you here on this live stream that we're doing this Sunday afternoon before the Super Bowl. And I know my European, hey, there's Michael. Mike, good to see you. Good to have you join us. I was just getting ready to talk a little bit about the, not that we're necessarily retro enthusiasts, aren't known for sports. I think I watch 2 football games a year. One of them is the Super Bowl, and I actually watch it for the Super Bowl. The other one is the Army-Navy game. That's just my military background. So I always enjoy a good football game, so we're looking forward to that. And I know my European friends are saying football, that's that thing with the white ball with the black spots on it, the soccer. But hopefully you all know. So it's the Rams against the Bengals. If you have a preference, I'm doing this one right here. I'm just going to type it in. Hashtag go Bengals. There we go. That's who I'm going after. So take a look at that. Hey, let me know before we get started in earnest here. Let me know how the audio is. How's it sound out there? I tried to do some tweaking on the audio. Would love to know how it sounds. So I'll wait just a second here to see what you think. And then I'm going to kind of orient you through some of the views and things we can do. By the way, while we're doing this, I should do this right here because I can do that again, which is really good. I like having my little lower third there. That's pretty good. So let's see what's happening in chat for just a second. I know you all are more excited to be in chat talking to each other than you are for me to talk to you, which I think is just great. So that's great. Let's see. Mislav says, Jamie's Hack Shack. Are you going to swap it? You know the friend you mentioned. And that's in a reference again to, and here's the response for that one. Mislav, I think I'll keep it until he wants it back. So Jamie over on Jamie's Hack Shack, be sure you check that out. Hey, Mad Z28, welcome. Good to have you here. Thanks for coming in and popping in and joining us today on this Super Bowl Sunday. But again, I was mentioning Jamie had a video. Audio is good here. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that because I have been working on it. Actually, the little microphone's right here. And I've got it running through a lot of stuff. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, Jamie just restored another Commodore C64. So there's another working C64. All praise goes to him today for restoring a Commodore. I wish I was restoring a Commodore in today's live stream, but I am not doing that. But what I am going to do today is I've got a few extra things in my library I wanted to share with you. I've got a troubleshooting device that I think will be handy. We'll cover that during the first few minutes or so. And then we're going to go back to this little guy over here, the MEGA65. And let me get rid of the comment here. Hold on just a second. And I'll go ahead and get rid of my layer here. And we are going to take a look at side B of the MEGA65 included SD card that's going to come with the MEGA65. There's a whole bunch, and the list that you're looking in front of you right now, this is an entire list of Commodore 64 software that is going to come with the MEGA65. So what'll happen with that is some of the software, I checked on the Discord channel, I said asking for a friend, I asked the question, are these just specifically Commodore C64 titles, or are some of them C64 titles that take advantage of the MEGA65 capabilities and hardware? Because the C64 mode in the MEGA65 can actually address some of the advanced features and graphics in the MEGA65 side, which explains part of the reason why some software is not 100% compatible on the C64 mode, although they continue to work on that. But that explains a little bit. Now, what I don't know is which one of these actually do or don't. We'll just have to look at them and make some subjective decisions about whether we think this is taking advantage of some of the new hardware of the MEGA65. But it should be kind of a fun study just to go through. So, and have some fun with that. So let me go back in here to our chat and see what's going on. Let me go ahead and pull up me again here. And last thing I'm going to do is once again put on this so while people are popping in, they can see what's going on. So let me take a look at chat, see what's going on. Looks like you all are still talking to everybody. We've got about 6 folks on the stream right now, which is great. Our chat rate of 2. How do I know that? Well, because I've got this screen right here that shows everything that's going on and can flip back and forth between that. So I've done things a little bit different for those of you that have been following along. I'm streaming via the YOLO box, which is right here. And so I can control my comments and my stream here. But then I also had an ATEM Mini, so I'm running all of my video down here and doing some fun stuff with this right here, so I can switch through quickly. So far, it's working okay. I wish I had not gotten the ATEM Mini. I wish I'd gotten the ATEM Extreme now because I'm already out of ports, and plus there's some additional features like a headphone out monitor so I can hear that, how it's going. So anyway, we'll see what happens here. So continue talking to each other in the chat, but what I want to show you first is I do have, if I don't shake everything on my table, I do have a camera here that we can take a look at, and I've got a few additional things over here that kind of came into the either via mail or I'll tell you what, let's do this. I think let's go our split screen here, and let's go ahead and I will get rid of, and again trying to get used to everything here, we'll get rid of that, and I'll show you some of the things that are on the table or on the bench. So I do want to share this first thing. This tells you how much I commonly talk about my lovely accountant, or the lovely accountant. The lovely accountant for my birthday last week, which, by the way, thank you to those of you who sent me out birthday greetings. I appreciate that. Gave me this. She's actually listening to me talk about this retro stuff. So that was kind of interesting. And she snuck down to my retro library to see what books I had and did not have. And she found this one on Amazon. And I'm actually pretty stoked about this. This is Mastering the Commodore 64, and it's really relevant today because we're going to be looking at C64 mode on the MEGA65. So I think this is going to be kind of fun to just take a look at on my own and reacquaint myself with the MEGA65. Most of you know I was a VIC-20. That's where I started. So a lot of my peaks and pokes and muscle memory around programming in BASIC really was more on the VIC. But this book claims to allow me to master the Commodore 64. So if we look in here, we can see some of the contents. We have the basic language, color, we have animation, how to create animation in BASIC, music and sound synthesis, programmable characters. We have sprites, high resolution graphics. That should be kind of interesting. Other computers basics. So if you're converting from, say, a ZX Spectrum or a Timex Sinclair, as they were known in the United States, you'll have that. We'll have a section on peripherals, speeding up and improving your basic programs. And then I am actually looking forward to this. I think I mentioned early, as a matter of fact, I mentioned at the December live stream where we covered the SD card side 1 for this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I wanted to do some more. I really need to, I never learned machine language growing up, even with my VIC. I kind of dabbled with it. And of course, the VIC-20 didn't have a machine language monitor, where now the MEGA65 has one. They're easily accessible. You can get those on the C64. So I really want to dive into some machine language this year and try and work with that. So here's the machine language section, all the same types of things we saw: programmable characters and machine code, sprites in machine code, Commodore 64 architecture, similarities between basic and machine code programs, and section 3, the appendices. So it is, I sense that this is an Amazon, or it's an Acorn. Looks like it's an Acorn, but it is very kind of flimsy paper. This is one of those books that might really be nice on a Kindle, but the paper's really thin, but it's fine. It's good. And it's one of those things I can mark up and use, but you can see even here talking about how to work with sprites. Could be kind of interesting. I'm kind of looking at it and thinking there might be some interest here, and I might even pull some of this to a future live stream. We may go through some of the examples in a live stream, and that could be fun. Let me check chat here and see what you guys are doing. Mislav says, Stephen, the other day I saw a video from a guy who has older computer magazines, British ones, and he was surprised to see the announcement of the VIC-10. Yes, that was actually Robin over at 8-Bit Show and Tell. I did watch that video, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And there was at one time this VIC-10, which I believe, per Robin, was the Commodore Max. It was a variant of the Commodore Max. If you've not seen the Commodore Max, it was that silver one. I really should bring a screen up, but I didn't know you can ask questions, which is, or make the comment, which is great. The VIC-30 was going to be something that was kind of in between the 10, the VIC-20 and the VIC-30 was going to be that next one up, but they never were released per Robin, and he had an article where you can look at them. So it was a really good video. I'm glad you saw that. And as for those of you who may have missed it, by the way, we've got 10 of you watching. If you are watching and haven't dropped your name in chat, let me know you're there. Let me know that you're taking a look. But Robin did a really good job of helping me with my last video. So be sure and check that out, where he covers, based on what we just talked about in here, machine language. In the +4, there was something called the TEDMON, and Robin was kind enough to do a video that's a companion to my last video that covers the TEDMON. So the two of us kind of worked together on that, and he is a joy. Robin was just great to work with. So if you get that opportunity to check out both those videos, if you want to learn about the +4, even more, part of the +4 series was the whole appendices, you can do that. Hey, Matt Myers, good to see you. And Matt says Commodore Max machine was released in Japan. Yes, as a matter of fact, I think it was a Japan only release, and I believe remind me, for those of you that watched it, I believe Robin showed that on his video on 8-Bit Show and Tell, so be sure and check that out. So that's a great comment for us to go off track. Thank you for that, Mislav. I really, this is the part I love. I love the questions and the conversations. Retro Now TV. Hey, good to see you, Retro Now TV. I think this is the first time you've joined a live stream. So great to have you. Hi, all. I have a brochure that talks about a VIC-40 expansion for the VIC-20. Hey, if I would love to see, are you going to let us know if you're going to do a video on that, Retro Now TV? That would be great. And thanks again for joining the live stream. I believe this is your first one with me, and it's good to have you. And we're up to 13 folks watching. I think this is my gosh, I think this might be a record for us folks. So here's what we're looking at as far as people watching right now. So good to have each of you with us. So thank you for doing that. I do have the split screen. We'll be jumping out of that, but this is just for this piece. So again, thanks to the lovely accountant for this book. I do really think I'm going to have a blast with it. And talking about books, I just want to let you know, some of you saw my tweet, I have finished this. Now this, Back Into the Storm by Bill Hurd, is his time at Commodore. I think it's 81 to 85 or something like that, 82, right around there. I would recommend this book. It's an interesting read. I would say, and I'm going to say this here, that Bill Hurd is probably more interesting than the book. He seems like a very interesting individual. He admittedly gets himself in trouble regularly. I think that's kind of interesting. So if you've not had a chance to read this, I would really recommend it. Also, this book has a sub-author, Margaret Morabito, who actually wrote a modern book about the Commodore 128. She, I believe, was a publisher for Run Magazine or Compute. I can't remember. But she's got an interesting background, too, and I'm sure helped Bill kind of organize his thoughts, because this really is just a stream of consciousness. It kind of goes through the years, and he brings these stories back out as he goes through them. So it's kind of interesting. Again, a recommended read. I will put links to both of these books somewhere, probably in a companion blog post, or maybe I'll do a Buy Me a Coffee post and put those in there so that you have that. So again, pretty interesting. Now, this is not really related at all, but I did get my latest edition of Make magazine. I don't know if anybody, I'm just curious if anybody still gets this magazine. I have issues 1 through, I don't know, 30 or 40. They changed to that large format. I really did not subscribe then. And then they came back and went back to their original format, which I just like. Nothing really retro in here, but you all know that I tend to get into some magazine, or get into some electronics. You can see some of the things that are in here. We got a whole spread on wearables and what's what, so that's kind of neat. But I just thought I'd share that. That came in yesterday, and I was just curious about whether any of you actually still subscribe to Make magazine. Those are, because many retro enthusiasts are also makers, so that's pretty interesting. Let's check out the chat here. Let me go ahead and go back to here, and let's see. Looks like some folks are talking about the dev kit. Yep, we're going to get to it. MadZ28, he has a dev kit, says Brosel. And if I mispronounce the way you want me to say or refer to you, please put that in the chat. I'll be happy to correct that. Happy to do it. We're going to be getting to the MEGA65 here in just a minute. I always just start a few minutes with some basic things that are happening in my world, some things to share before we dive into the topic. That gives people time to log in and tell everybody what's going on out there. Hey, Max, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Max, I think this is your first live chat. If it is not and I am mistaken, let me know, but it's good to have you here. I'm kind of scrolling through the chat, getting caught up. Michael Whip says, I second the recommendation of the book. More fun stories versus a deep info dive. Yeah, there's not a lot of depth to any of the stories, but it is fun, but very enjoyable and sounds like Bill speaks. Yes, if you watch Bill Hurd on any of his videos, especially, I don't know if any of you have tried to watch his live streams. He partners up with, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, I apologize, but they get in deep in some things that are even beyond me. And but I enjoy listening to him, and sometimes he pulls a story out or something that's interesting. But Bill is a character. He is definitely a character in the Commodore community, and it's so good to still have him active and telling us about what the days were like, but also to see where he is now. So really appreciate that. So Michael, I'm glad you enjoyed the book as well. Again, it is a recommended read if you are a Commodore fan for sure. Matt Myers says, I heard Commodore had employees actually sleeping in their offices. Some employees never left the building. Well, they're wet. Did you see the video of Bill walking through the old headquarters in Pennsylvania? I thought that was kind of interesting because it was damp, so they are wet. And actually, Bill talks about sleeping under his desk in the book, so you definitely want to check that out, Matt, if you've not read that. Eric S. says, yep, I have been a longtime subscriber. So Eric, a longtime subscriber to my channel? Because I know I've had, the channel has been out there for many, many years, back when I was even doing TV spots for a local TV station on technology. But it's just recently that I've kind of gotten into this whole live stream on a regular basis thing. Trying to do every Sunday. I'm not gonna be able to do next Sunday. I will let you all know, give you a heads up. I'm not gonna be here next Sunday. I've got some traveling and visiting with family, so I'll try and make it up either with some extra content for my Buy Me a Coffee subscribers. By the way, those of you that are Buy Me a Coffee subscribers or supporters, you might get a little something before I head out. No promises, but I'm hoping I can do something for you. And Sandcat's here. Hey, Sandcat, good to have you. Sandcat has been here before, so it's excellent to have you. Sandcat says, new equipment, picture and sound is great. Hey, thanks. I do have some. Hey, Mislav, thank you so much. Really appreciate your support, Mislav. For those of you that don't know, just hit the little thank you button down there and got this really cool super chat. So thank you for that, Mislav, as always. And I'm going to say it again. He always says, don't have to thank him. Oh, it's not for me. It's for the lovely accountant. Bless your heart. I will share with her for Valentine's Eve, because this is Valentine's Eve, that you sent the lovely accountant something. So I will let her know that you are thinking about her. That's great. Let's see. News. Oh, go back, Sandcat, back to you. Back to this question right here. New equipment, picture, and sound is great. Yeah, I've got, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using Yellow Box to send everything. I got an ATM Mini. I've been struggling with sound. As a matter of fact, poor Jamie, he's had to listen to my tweets. He's had to read my tweets about my frustrations with sound. I'm like, I cannot get this right. What was going on? But sound seems like it's the hardest thing. I think I've got a system now. And the key for me was, can I just sit down and live stream? It seemed like every week I was tweaking something. But now I've got everything set up. I'm going to leave it. It's connected to an ATEM Mini, so I can make little tweaks if I need to, but not many. So I have invested some of the money that you, the supporters and the producers, have sent my way into equipment to make this better. So hopefully you're sensing that. Hey, we've got 18 folks out there. This is great. We got a lot of people in here today. And I know a lot of you are here for the MEGA65, so hang in there. We'll get there. My garage door is opening, and if you hear that, that is actually the lovely accountant coming home, I'm sure, with things for tonight for the Super Bowl game. So that's good. Eric says, yeah, oh yes, he's been a long-term subscriber and to Make Magazine. So we just looked at Make Magazine just a few minutes ago and see that. Okay, one more little thing before we get into the MEGA65 and we look at some demos. Great chat today. Thank you all for joining. We have 18 of you. If you want to see that, see, this is the cool stuff. I've gotten really pretty good at this switching stuff, but this is what we're going to be looking at today. These are the software on the MEGA65. But before we do that, one more thing I'll share with you that I thought was kind of cool. Let me go back to my split screen, kind of like that, is I have one of these. And you're saying, what do you mean you have one of those? You have a brown box? Yes, I have a brown box right here, but this is something that I will admit this was an impulse buy. I was buying some sound equipment. As a matter of fact, I bought a mic that didn't work and I'm sending it back tomorrow. But while I was looking around, getting ready to send it back, this thing popped up. This is kind of interesting. And I've seen similar tools like this on other channels. Hold on. Somebody says I'm mispronouncing your name. Yes, Mr. Combs mispronounced my name for a long time. Yeah, at least 8 or 9 weeks, right? Mislav to Mislav. So I got it right now. So, and as my producer, I have to get his name right. So Mislav and Jamie are my producers for this episode. If you're not familiar with that, you can go to my website or my Buy Me a Coffee and find out what that means. And they are producers at the C128 level. So they've got cool Commodore 128 levels next to their names. Okay, so here's what I have. All right. Any guesses? I'll give you a second. Any guesses what this thing does? See if I can get a little more light here for you too. It's a little dark. Let me see. Let me brighten it up here a little bit for you. There we go. That's a little better. So it shouldn't have. Oh yeah, it did on the other side. Look at that. I thought I marked it off, but it was on one side. So there you go. Everybody knows where I live. Hopefully they don't go back. Thanks, Jamie. I thought I got. Oh, you know what I did? I got it on the one, and then I didn't get it off that one. So hopefully nobody will send me dirty stuff. We'll see. Anyway, here's our thing right here, and yeah, the live stream. What's nice is for the live stream. It will not be available when I get done, so I'll go back and edit. I probably will do another short edits. People seem to really like the edits of the live stream. So anyway, here we go. Here's the device we have. This is a USB power checker. So it's a USB and DC digital tester. This one was kind of interesting. It's kind of cheaply made, but I think it'll do what it needs. We'll go ahead and rip the, well, I said I was going to do that, so I'm not sure what that is. But there is a little cover on here. Go ahead and leave that on for now, but it does have a little plastic right here that we can get off. Let me go ahead and make this screen for you so you can see it. And you'll see that we can test the output for a Type C. We also have input and output, USB output. We have this little 5.5 volt DC connector here. And so how does it work? Well, we've got a couple of ways that we can connect it. So we've got these leads here, which is nice. You get a lead that's male and you get a lead that's female here. And what I always struggle with is sometimes I have devices and does that device have enough power? For instance, like a Raspberry Pi. Do I have enough power coming out of the USB port, maybe from a computer or yes, and Matt, you got it right, power tester, you nailed it. So but you can get your power from your devices and find out if you've got enough. So what I'm going to do here is I have plugged in a little adapter right here, or I've got a true power USB power brick over here, and I've run this cable. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to plug this in and see if it explodes or catches fire. That should be interesting. Let's see what we get here. So there we go. So now I can zoom in for you. Hold on. Here we go. How about that? Now, so right now we know that, well, that's interesting. I'm getting 4.9, so we're getting 5 volts out, but let's see. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this, but I did want to look at it and see. Here's a couple of buttons. Let's see. This looks like, there we go. Kind of cycles through the display. What's this one do? So this one is okay. So this is interesting. It says no amps. That seems kind of odd. So I'll need to read the instructions, but you can see what this is for. So this is pulling directly from a power supply that I have mounted on my desk that has a couple, it plugs directly into the wall, has 3 110 outlets and then 2 USB outlets, and it mounts to the desk, which is kind of nice. So now, let me do one more. I'm going to plug into just a normal USB power port on my, let's see, do I have, yeah, I can use this one right here in my computer. It's a little hub on my computer. The audio for the, let me see, hold on. Test. There we go. Okay. It says the audio for the camera is quite loud. I think I just had something happen too. Hold on. Here's what happened when I switched over. I got a different audio. So put something on the output to see the load and amps. There you go. That's what I needed to do. And I can't really do that, but I need to run something through it. So how can I don't think I have anything right. Oh, I do have something. Hold on, Jamie. We do have that, so we can see that. Hold on. So thanks to Jamie. Let's go back in and do this. I got this now. So it does have a load device here. I forgot about this. Here we go. So again, reading. There we go. Now we've got, let me go ahead and turn this off. And now you can see what's happening here. There you go. Thank you, Jamie. And it comes with this little load device too, so that you can test it out. And you can see you have on and off for this. So we will just leave it at that since we know how it's working. Wow, I would have thought I'd had more power coming out of there. That's interesting. Anyway, that is a good, good try. Just a good little device to have, and looking forward to using that. I did have somebody say that mic 1 is a little hot, but then I've also had people say the sound is good. The audio for the camera is quite loud. So I could bring it down a little bit. We'll do that. Let's see, let me come up here and bring that down a couple of notches. I'm not going to mess with it too much because I'm going to have to do an edit in live. Let me know, who is that? Cutie Honey. Is this your first live stream with us? I think this is your first live stream. And this is the comment. So Cutie Honey says the audio for the camera is quite loud. And again, I think I've got that fixed. So let me know if it sounds a little, I pulled it down just a little for you. All right. You know, the other thing I think I forgot to do is I forgot to change my level of interactivity on the live stream too. I need to work on that. So I'll try and remember that every time. You can change so that the delay between the chat and me is less, and I forgot to do that on this stream. So I will make sure and do that. Okay, let me clean up a little bit. And let's go back to here. So this is what we're here for. Let's take a look at some of the games and demos that come on the MEGA65. Now, before we do that, let me show you, if you are a dev kit owner, and I know there's at least one out there, if you go to this GitHub page, go to MEGA65 release prep, these are all the files that you're going to find on the SD card when the MEGA65 is released. I'm not sure if, I think they've already burned all the SD cards, so all the things here are probably even more, yes, it was Jamie. I think it was switching mic to the document camera because I've had that issue before. But I think I'm back to my regular, and I think I've got it turned off. Let me make sure that HDMI, yeah, it looks like it's off right now, so it should be back to its regular level. So I am going to fix what I messed up. There we go. So we'll do that. So thank you for that, Jamie. You are absolutely correct. And I don't know how to turn that off on the YOLO box. I'll have to work on that. But anyway, these are, so keep me up to date on the sound. If the sound goes awry, let me know. And again, I'm going to try and keep an eye on sound because we all want to get to our sound. I'm going to keep an eye on the time because I know a lot of us want to get to some pregame festivities for the Super Bowl. But this is the SD card. These are all the files. Now, some of these are the files that are required for the MEGA65 to operate. And then some of them are the things that you would have and use just to have fun, like the MEGA65.D81, which it looks like they just added a new game called Zombie Detective to the menu. So that would be fun to try. And what we're going to do today, though, is we're going to take a look at, I believe it is, where is it? It says C, here it is, C64.D81. You can see this was 2 months ago, so I know I have the most latest copy of that. And if we click on that, you can see that it's just ready for download and add to your SD card. So what I've done then is place that on my SD card and have done this. So these are all the list that you have now. These are all of the games and or demos that are going to run in C64 mode on the MEGA65. Some of these, and I can't tell you which one or which ones, will actually make use of some of the advanced features of the MEGA65 to include graphics, speed, memory, those types of things. So we're just going to kind of work through. We obviously can't get through all of these. We did take a look at a couple of these during the live stream for Christmas Eve. If you've not seen that live stream is available. You can go see that. But we took a look at the side, what I like to call side one of the SD card, or that MEGA65.D81 that we just looked at earlier. This is what we like to call side B, which are all the C64 things. So we'll run through these. Now, to make this a little bit easier, here's what I've done. And this is where working with the Mega gets a little tricky, but I'm going to show you something now. So I'm going to be turning this off and I'm going to show you a feature here. So I am going to turn off my MEGA65. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and I'm going to turn it on. Now you're going to get a stripe every once in a while down here at the bottom. That's my capture device. Unfortunately, I have to use a capture device. I can't run the MEGA65 directly into the ATEM because it won't process the weird video that's coming out of it. So let me go ahead and get rid of the strip down here on the bottom, but I'm going to go into the configure. And now one of the things you can do is you can set this is the MEGA65 configuration. You can set what's the default disk image. So if I scroll over here, you can see down here, instead of this normally being the MEGA65.d81, I have changed it to C64.d81. That way, every time the MEGA65 boots or resets, when it pops up, it's going to come to that particular disk image instead of the default. I'm just messing with my headphones here. I can hear myself talk. I'm afraid I'm getting an echo probably in my microphone. So that is what I'm trying to do with this, is just make it easier. Let's see, let me check up on chat here. Here we go. Matt Meyer says, the people who pre-ordered the 400 batch of MEGA65s are still waiting for theirs, aren't they? Yes, they are, Matt. As a matter of fact, we're looking for an Easter release or a March release. By the way, I just completed all of the recording and have started editing my next video. I'll give you guys a little preview. It is the top 10 ways the MEGA65 is better than my MacBook Pro. Just gonna have some fun with it. But along the way, you get to learn more about the Mega, but at the very beginning of the video, which I hope to release in the next day or two, maybe longer, I had hoped to have it out for the weekend. I will cover the entire release, but we are looking at a March for the first 400, but possibly if you're into that 400, 500, 600, or even up to 700 or so, you might be able to be in that first group. I think they're going to expand that first 400 to be larger. So if you've not ordered a MEGA65 and you want to try and get in on that first release, you might still be able to do that. I would go to the Discord and ask some questions around that if you're interested in that. So great question. Thank you, Matt, for that. Trends is still waiting for the packaging. That's what we hear, right, Brosel? Sorry. Let's see. Oh, there's Deft. Hey, Deft, good evening. At least this evening here. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining us. And Deft is very close to what we're talking about with the MEGA65 release. So if you want to post something in the comments, he might be happy to answer that. He's obviously closer to it than I am. So a lot of the things I'm saying just on the record is subjective. So be very careful with that. But yes, we are hoping to see it in March. I'm excited about it. And again, I'll talk about it in the video that I plan to release here in just a few days. So let's go back to this. As you can see, I've set the default disk to C64. So what that means is, let me go ahead and just reboot, and I'll show you what that means. So normally it would boot to the MEGA65 disk image, but now if I just type directory, oh, and I have this really nice thing, dirw. This is something that you're going to want to use. Check out what happens. Now that's not your normal C64 listing, is it? Now here's the problem. This is the C64 side. We've got to be in C64 mode. So before we can use this software. So, you know, a couple of ways I can do this. I have set it up as the default, but that's still not where I want to go. So what I have done to make this even easier is I'm going to hold the restore button down for a few seconds and let up on it. And then I've created in the freezer, I've created this slot right here. In slot 1, you can see I have an internal drive. Look down there at the lower right. You'll see I have an internal drive set to C64.d81. Now watch what happens when I load, and I'm going to hit F3 to load. For those of you not familiar with the MEGA65, you're going to love this. For those of you that are familiar with the MEGA65, you're going, let's just get on with this, Retro Combs, okay? Move on, Stephen. But what this does is it loads, it boots into C64 mode, or loads C64 mode, but then automatically loads, as you can see at that first line right here, it automatically loads the directory. So now all I have to do after I restore is type list, and you'll see the listing of all that software shows up. So that's just going to make it a little bit easier. Now, what I probably should have done is done this too, so that we can actually see the listing. So let me change the color. And now what we'll do is we'll just work through a few of these demos and see what we have. Before we do, let's check out and see what Deft has to say, because he always has good stuff. The dataset port exists as a breakout port in the case, but you have to make one yourself. Yeah, we're hoping that somebody takes that on as a project and a hobby and maybe posts that online for how we can do it, or maybe it's a little side project for somebody who wants to make a few dollars. The C65 has no tape functionality, but it is possible to add it with using, for instance, the C64 core, which hopefully we'll see. Matt says, let me just get a loan from the bank to buy it. Okay. Yeah, it is an investment, but just remember that you buying one early means that you're making an investment in the platform, and later, as more buy them, the cost will come down just like everything else. So those of us that have made that expensive purchase are really not in it just for the device for low cost. We're in it to support the actual entire platform, which I think, and I've said this, when this thing hits and people start to see it in our hands, and I'm talking about YouTubers and bloggers and everybody else who's showing things, there's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to get out there and purchase. There's still some left from the initial run, but I think they're going to be gone before you know it, because there's so many people asking questions like, is this thing vaporware? We're so close to it not being vaporware, so hang in there. So, so you've seen the list. You've actually had a chance to look at it. If you see something, excuse me, I got an itch on my nose. If you see something that you want to see, make sure you put it in the chat and I'll make sure and pull it up. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the second page down, because the during the live stream, the Christmas Eve live stream, we kind of hit a few at the top. And plus, I can list it and easily get to this listing. So I think what we're going to, oh, and by the way, I do have my joystick here in case we need the joystick. This is, again, is the Hyperkin that fits perfectly with the MEGA65. And again, I have links to this thing everywhere on my webpage. Just go to the webpage and search for Hyperkin. You can find that. It is awesome. So that's very good. So let me put that over here. Let's see. Mislav says he was thinking about selling a kidney. Please don't sell your kidney, Mislav. Please don't do that, to do that. And oh yes, and many of us are waiting for the A500 too. So that's another cool thing that's coming in. I don't know if I'll spend much time with the A500. That's getting into the Amiga stuff. I'm really enjoying focusing on 8-bit and the Commodore C and the 8-bit. I do have an A500 ordered, and we'll probably talk about it. So when it gets here, but I probably won't spend a lot of time on it. Okay, let's go up here and let's start with the first one. And I know I could have just typed it down there, but I'm just going to do load, and then we're going to come over here. And unfortunately, I can't use the fun features that I do in the M60 or the MEGA65 mode, where I just put the slash next to it and call it a day. I actually have to do all the old school because we are in C64 mode. Now, let me make sure I've got some audio here. And let's come back down here, and now we're going to run that. Oh, well, let's list it first so you can see what we get. So a lot of these are interesting. So you can see most of these are machine code, and a lot of the demos from the demo scene are, and we're just loading the command to start it, right? So let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. Hang in there. Here we go. And I think we're running at 40 megahertz right now. So here is our demo. Let me see if we've got any sound. Hold on. I'm hearing sound. We'll go ahead and turn sound up just a little bit for you. Let's see, we're on number 3. There we go. Okay, if it's too loud, let me know. And so this is a demo which looks pretty nice, doesn't it? This is pretty cool. You've got the space scene up here. You've got some guy, what is he doing? Is he hitting a drum? What is that? What's going on down there with that guy? I believe this is a demo, but what we're going to do is we're going to plug it. It's hard to tell whether it's a demo or a game. I'm going to plug in the joystick. And okay, there, I'm hearing the demo, some trap demo. There you go, Michael. That's exactly right. Retro Combs, Def says, do you have the latest SD or the latest SID update Bitstream by chance? I have, Def, the latest Bitstream I have installed is February 6th, because I remember updating it on my birthday. I did not update it today, so let us know what we should be hearing. Should it be stereo, or what should be going on too? So I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here again, Def. I really appreciate it. Speaking of that, let's see, while we're watching the demo, what do we got? Oh, we got 17 of you. That's great. Thanks for those of you joining. The demo is about the trap music. Gotcha. Okay. So there's not going to be, it is just a demo. Beating the drums. Hey, Kraken Soundscapes. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. I think this is the first time you've joined the live stream, so it's really good to have you. And so the demo is going well. Really like it. Def says it's like 10 or more minutes. So this thing would just keep going on and on. But again, this just shows you the capabilities. C64 mode on the MEGA65. Deft, do you know if any of these actually take advantage of the MEGA65 mode? Because I know in C64 mode you can. If there's a demo that you might remember that does that, let me know and we'll pull it up. Def says it's all C64 mono SID stuff and your bit stream is good. Excellent, thank you, I appreciate that. Again, it's always good to have you here to keep me squared away. Okay, so again, here's the beauty. You know, we've got this running. Now, normally I have to reboot and I have to load the disk and do all that business, but I'm gonna hit restore. We'll come back up to this freezer slot right here. I'm going to load it and look what happens. So we're back to where we were. So now we can just list again and you see our entire list and we can start over. Michael says, the music is a cover of the first part of Jeff Wayne's musical version of the War of the Worlds concept album, rock opera. How cool is that? I did not know that. See, this is why I love my chat room. You guys have so much knowledge and share it with everybody. It is great. MadZ28 says the MEGA65 will be the end-all device for all retro 8-bit machines as long as new cores come out for those systems. It is not enhanced. It is not an enhanced C64 system. It's its own system. Yes, that is absolutely correct. And I know C64 mode is still continuing to be refined so that it'll be more compatible. It's just going to get better and better. If you want a C64, get one. Get a the C64. Wait for a core. But I think you're going to be amazed at what's going to happen with the C64 mode on the MEGA65. I think it's going to be fun. Matt says, I love the MEGA65. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Some people in the old school Commodore scene are not going to like this computer because they can't load cassettes out of the box. Yeah, but you know, there's always the Tapwino. Have you seen my Tapwino? You can do that, but again, you can't use cassette. That's a digital, I get it. So you can't have that. But hang in there, Matt, because we may see that adapter soon. I'm not one of those guys, I will tell you. I could care less whether I use a cassette again or not. I do use the Tapwino for that, so that's kind of fun. And I've done that on the Plus 4, and it actually worked really well on the Plus 4. Let's see. Def says, we got some SID poo left. This is what the SID does. It's not that much to do. Okay. Trap says, starts around 3 minutes, and then stuff happens. Well, gosh, I guess I should let it run just a little bit longer. But hey, that will give you all an option or an opportunity to load that when you receive your MEGA65. Or don't forget, for those of you that don't know, there is an MEGA65 emulator for your PC, Mac, or Linux box. It is XEMU and it's the XMEGA65. I do have a link and I have full directions on a blog post that I've done at retrocombs.com or stephencombs.com, and you can load that, and you can load this and play all these demos as well. So remember, you can still do this even without a MEGA65. I think it's important that you guys know that so that if you want to play around now, you can start to do that. Getting caught up on chat. Matt says, yes, agree, but that was Commodore's decision to drop cassette from the original C65. Yes, agreed, including the cassette loading code from the ROM. Oh yes, that's right, it wasn't even in the ROM. Good point, Michael, excellent point. And then finally, Bjarki, I bet I messed that one up. Bjarki, so I stand corrected, I apologize. Is there any plans to make a C128 on the MEGA65? As I mentioned, or as I'm going to mention in my next video, top 10 reasons the MEGA65 is better than my MacBook Pro, running title. There are cores being developed, and there's a C64 code, a C64 core, and there's also cooperation with the MiSTer community to bring some of those cores over. So more about that in my next video, so be on the lookout for that. That's not a live stream, that's a prepared video, so you'll want to take a look at that. Defta says, nobody working on the 128, but the C64 core and possibly around the corner. Yes. If you go to C65 cores, do a search for C65 cores, you'll find the website that I refer to in my next video where we'll talk more about cores. Good chat today. By the way, there's 21 of you. If you've not dropped into chat, please let me know you're there. I'd love to hear from you. Matt Myers says, same goes for the ZTech LT kernel, but with software, it can run faster using the SD card. Yep. Okay, you guys continue to chat. I'm going to pull up another demo for us. I'm going to pop up here, and instead of trap demo, we are going to load shades and see what that's all about. And what a blast today. You guys are very talkative. I'm really enjoying it today. Thanks for popping in here and sharing comments and information. You are making this so much more fun. Let me go ahead and hit run. Here we go. And while we're doing that, it says the question is, who needs a 128 core if everyone just using I know. Well, I love, oh, by the way, I just so you all know, since you brought it up, since you're talking about it, look what's sitting next to me. I mean, you just brought it up. This was, I went from a Commodore VIC-20 to this computer. Well, not this particular one, but to the C128. I made that mistake, as a lot of people did, and didn't keep it. But this is beautiful. It's been recapped and everything. It's a gorgeous shape. It's just wonderful. And we'll be doing some more things on the C128. By the way, for those of you who watched my live stream where I converted a C128 program, not a C64 program, but a C128 program to the MEGA65. I know my music's off here. Hold on just a second. Oop, wrong one. And I did get that completed. I'm going to do either a live stream update about that so you can see the 128 version and the MEGA65 version, or a video. I'm leaning more towards a video because I'd like to kind of go through side by side and how the basic is different between the C128 Commodore, was that 128 was version 7, I think, and the MEGA65 is version 10. Did I mess that up? Let me know in the chat. But I do hope to do that. So it is working. It works well, as a matter of fact. I got it working. Okay, so back to here. Let's see. Let's go back in here and so was that only sound? Is that all that demo was sound? Let me see. Let me turn it back on. Well, that didn't do anything. What is that about? Let's see. That that didn't really appear to do anything. Let me see what we've got here. Oh, there it is. I hear it now. So this one appears to just be sound. There's no audio with it. Well, that's kind of interesting. So let me go ahead and bring that up. Oh, I keep doing the same thing. I can't do that because it's already been loaded. So that needs a combo 65. Oh, wait. Oh, it just went off. Hold on. Let's get caught up here. I'll tell you what, you guys continue chat. I can't wait for the MEGA65 to start shipping out to people who couldn't get a low order number. I know. I'm looking forward to that too. More people, more fun. Right, Chris? Chris, good to have you here. Chris Toast is here, and I think this is the first time he has joined us. So thanks for popping in. So this is Chris Hilsbeck's debut song. Thank you, Def. Very famous. It's playing audio. Yes, I just got that because don't have the headphones on. All right, let's go ahead and restore. We'll come back up and let's do another one. You know, we may have to do a part 2 for this because I don't know that we're going to get to all of these today. But we'll kind of go and see what we have. Again, we got that whole first page, but again, we did a lot of those. Now, the Airwolf music we have done. I'm going to pass that one. That also gets me a big flag. It's so good it got me a flag last time I did it. So we'll pass on that one. We are going to load this one. This is Pick a Force DTK. Let's see what this one is. And I know I'm butchering names, so here we go. The one thing I do want to fix with my setup is there's a huge lag in what I'm hearing. And so I can't use the headphones when I'm talking because I can't talk with the lag. And so I have to sometimes put the headphones up to my ear to hear what's playing. So apologies for that, but I'm going to work on that. This is where I wish I'd gotten an ATEM with a headphone jack so I have real-time monitoring as opposed to this delay that just drives you nuts. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get. All right, we got some graphics here. So we do have something on the screen. Do we have sound? No sound on this one yet. Okay, so we'll let this one go for just a few minutes. And while we're doing that, we'll catch up on chat. So let's see what we have. It's playing audio music. We did that. There you go. That's right there. Wheelsback. Hubbard Daglish Legends. Good. Good to know. I will research them and find out what's going on there. So Michael says some C64 mode software supports some speed increases running on C128, and I believe the Mega already supports that part. As a matter of fact, if I want to change the speed, I can simply go here, and you can see that we can hit F, and we can modify the frequency at which or the speed at which the software is running. So I'm gonna go back to 40 right here. And so that is on in C64 mode. We're actually bumping that up. So let me go back and resume that, and hopefully it didn't mess it up too much. And you can see it's a pretty cool demo. Looking pretty good right there. See if Deft had any information, anybody had any information about this particular demo. Okay, all right, we've got about 10 more minutes. I am going to try and keep it to around an hour today. So let's go ahead and come back in here. And again, as I pull this list, if you have something you want to see before I get out of here today, please put it in the chat. Or if you know that there's something we need to see, please let me know in the chat what it is, because I'm just going down the list right now. So the next one we're going to do is TRSI Natura Morta, I believe. Okay, that's interesting. Let's do this. And come over here and comma 8, comma 1. Let's load that. And you'll notice the thing I really like about this is these things load fast. It is not taking any time. And that part of that is that 40 megahertz that we have access. So here we are. We're going to run this one. Oh, so far so good. What do we have on this one? Let's see. Any sound? No sound on this one, so it looks like we're just getting the scroll. Let's give it a second. Oh, here we have. I am bored. Let's see if my SID player works. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's give it a second to go. Dave wants to know, is there a way to combine a 6510 and Zilog Z80 cores into one FPGA? Oh, so that we can get CPM mode. That's interesting, David. So thanks for joining us, David. You've been through many live streams with me. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. And what do we have in the sound? Let me turn this up a little bit for us. Def says, give it a moment. I can't talk with this in. Def says, give it a moment. If you've ever tried to talk and hear yourself talk and there's a half-second delay, you can't do it. But Deft has promised us great things. So let's go. This looked really great. I love the look of this. I don't know, it's got this really cool color palette. This is really nice. Deft also says yes to the Zilog question, which is great. Kraken Soundscape says Pico GeForce demo. Oh, it moved on me. Hold on. Released by Decadence in 2003. Released at Simulatio 2. Very cool. See, this is why you all need to be in the chat, because I wouldn't know these things, but I'm learning these things, which is great. Let's see. Michael says, absolutely, the MEGA65 FPGA core already contains several chips, including the CPU, VIX, etc. Yes, it does. I am going to be here till the video stream ends. Well, thank you, David. Appreciate it. Good to have you here, and we'll keep going. While we're listening, here's another nice thing I can do. You can continue to listen, and you can see our viewers we dropped a few, but we're at 17. So again, if you're out there and haven't chatted with us, please let us know you're out there. I think we've had enough of this one. Let's go ahead and bounce into the next one. So again, I'm going to tap and hold that restore button for about 2 seconds, and we're going to go back up to my core. We're going to load it again. I don't know of a quicker way to do this. Deft, if you have, or anybody else who has a MEGA65 dev kit, if you could think of a quicker way to move between these programs. This particular one, unlike the other one, didn't have its own menu. Now maybe that'll change, but it didn't have its own really cool menu for all the different games. But this seems to be the fastest way I knew to kind of work through these. Let's go to C64 Fourier here and see what we have here with this one. Do I have a buzzing going on? I do. Oh, just heard that, sorry. There we go, let me get rid of that for you. Do that. And that buzzing should just go away when the SID resets itself when we run this, so we'll give it a shot here. Let's go ahead and turn it on. There we go. All right, perfect. Let's see. Let me get, while we're watching this one, let me get caught up on the chat a little bit. Let's see. Dev said it's nice watching you run the demos. Probably it's nice watching me run the demos because you don't have to run the demos, right, Dev? So good, good. Happy to do it though. I'm having a blast because I did not run any of these in advance, so all these are a surprise as well. The only ones I ran in advance were the ones I ran during the Christmas Eve live stream, but other than that, I've not done that. Yeah, I know, both of you there, I got that, so apologies, we got that fixed. No, it's fine except for the Sid Poo. We shall reset in the next freezer version. Okay, perfect. And then Jamie gives a thumbs up there. So there's that one. Yeah, it is kind of fun watching, going through these demos. Let's go ahead. Let's move quickly now. Let's see if we can get through a bunch of these so that you can see what they look like. And I'm going to get really good, hopefully, at doing this quickly. That one was this one. Let's go into this one. Let's see how many we can do here in the next few minutes before we all get to our Super Bowl festivities. And as I said, for my European viewers, it's Super Bowl night and go Bengals. And I know you're saying that's not football. Football's with a little white ball with black specks on it. Yeah, not really specks, but you know. And I've just insulted the whole world who loves soccer. I know. I apologize. American football, though, I like it. But I only watch, as I tell everybody, I only watch 2 games a year. I watch the Super Bowl and I watch the Army-Navy game. That's it. All right, here's one for us. What is this one? Oh, that sounds good. Is it me or is this one in stereo? Do we have 2 SIDs going on here, Deft? Do we have both? Yeah, this sounds like this one's in stereo. That's really nice. I like that one. Okay, so enough of that one. But that really kind of gives you, I have to wonder if that one's not making use of some of the advanced features of the MEGA65. Again, I can't confirm nor deny that. Let's do another one here. Oh, there it is again. Turn that off so that I don't, I finally got the headphone over here where you can hear it. That one. Oh, here's nothing. Hey, should we load nothing? This is for nothing. Nothing for nothing. Leaves nothing. It's a good song. All right, let's see what nothing is. So I'm going to load nothing. Just sounds wrong, doesn't it? I'm loading nothing. You want something? I got nothing. You may want something, but this is nothing. Bad joke, I know. All right, let's see what nothing is. Oh, that was cool. Fit and Friends present at Vamala Party 2017. So this is a 27 thing. Nothing but Petsky. Oh, this is cute. So that's Petsky. That is hilarious. And as you know, we keep our promises. There is nothing else here than a pet, a jolly cat skiing. Well, that is so much fun. So there you go. There's nothing but pet ski. So the puns for this whole section were just totally off the charts. All right, so that one's fun. All right, let's pull this one out here. I really appreciate that they said that there's nothing else here. That's kind of nice that they let us know that. So thank you for that. How much time do we have? We have time for 2 more, maybe. Let's go. Let me go ahead and load this. Max says, nice. I know. Yeah. The pet skiing, that's pretty cool, right, Max? Okay, let's do another one here. And that was nothing. I thought there was a game on here. I guess I'm not going to get to it. This is Sub TV Orange. This is a 2019. This might be pretty impressive. So let's see what this is all about. How about this keyboard? Is this not the best keyboard you're ever going to find on a Commodore computer? A little preview. I mentioned that in my next video too. This keyboard is awesome. Hey, this one's taking a little bit of time to load too. Hear those clicks? That was more clicking than we've heard in a while. So this could be impressive. Let's see what we get here. I already like it. Thought you had seen it all. After the pet ski, I thought I had seen it all. You are correct. Bitmap 6502 Petsky, but not this. I'm intrigued. Orange, let's see. Presents. Ah, I don't think there's music with this, is there? Oh, yeah, there is sound. Check that out. Okay, well, let's give this a second. I'll get caught up on chat here. Somehow music not there. Oh, on the last one, Deft, yeah, I just noticed on the Petsky, I didn't have the music on. Maybe we'll pop back in real quick. Apologies for that. Again, trying to organize all this. I turned off the sound because we had that buzz that wasn't resetting after the freezer. So, and I know you guys are working on that. So, yeah, it wasn't freeze related. It was user error. Right? I think, yeah, exactly. So you all are tracking with me. Yes, I forgot to turn it up. Games are on top of the disc above the separator. Oh, good to know. So all the games are above the separator. So all I'm doing is showing you demos. Okay, so here's what we're going to do then. Let me look at the time now. Obviously, many of us are wanting to get started with the, every time I do something, there's like an event like Christmas or something's going on, Super Bowl something, but let me go ahead, and this is really a nice demo. I like this demo, but let me go ahead and pull up Petsky again here. Getting really fast at this here. Let's pull this one up, and then we'll take a look at one thing above the line before we call it a day. But since there was sound, I don't want you to miss that. That was nothing right here. So we'll do that one. I hate for you to leave without getting the full experience of nothing. You need to know what nothing sounds like. It just gets worse. I'm sorry, everybody. What does nothing sound like? All right, let's see what we have. I'm not hearing anything. Okay, sound is on, but I don't hear anything. Oh, there it is. That's not bad. It's pretty basic, but at least now you know what, again, nothing sounds like. You've got it. So thank you for letting me know that I made that mistake. Please turn up the volume. I have, man, it is cranked at this point. Hold on. You know what? I can, hold on. There we go. I turned it up a little bit on my capture device too. And there we go. Now I can manage the sound. So again, through this live stream today, I'm actually doing some tweaking. So thank you all for having patience with me. Hey, that's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to do one more above the line. So there's a lot more to go. If you would like for me to work through some of these demos in another live stream, again, I won't be able to do it. Well, I say that. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to next week. I'm going to be doing a little travel and probably be coming back. But if you want me to have another live stream where we dig into some of these other ones, please leave your comments below or drop in the chat and let me know if you want me to come back and see if we can hit the rest of them. I'll be happy to do that. It gives me some Cutie Honey, it should be louder now, so let me know. It should be a lot louder now. You should be able to hear it. But again, if you want me to do some more of the demos, please leave a note in the chat or in the video description or in the comments below, okay? And I'll be happy to do that. So let's get out of here. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to, and I'm really enjoying the freezer. I have to tell you, because you can imagine what this would have been like if I had to load that disk image each time, go to C64 mode. Now it's easy. I can hold the Mega button down on the keyboard and turn the switch on to get to C65 mode, but this is so much easier. So I'm going to have to, and here's that thing where I have to list and stop really quickly. So everything above the line is a game. Now I've played this. We played this in several videos, so nothing there. We could do Supernatural, Spike, Shotgun, Shadow Switcher. We did Dream Cars. I remember doing Dream Cars. We took a second to do that. Frogs, if I remember something similar. I'm liking the sound of Shadow Switcher. I think that I will do that. Max says that would be nice. So I'm assuming you want me to go ahead and work through some of these others in another live stream. So I will plan to try and note today what I covered, and then we'll try and figure out what I need to cover next time. Actually, and just as I'm getting ready to log off, more people are logging on. So thanks to those of you who are joining me. We are going to kind of go out though with Shadow Switcher, which we understand is a game. So what I heard, Def said everything above the line right here, all these are games, and everything below is demo. So that's good to know. I probably could have figured that out if I spent time, but Def was here to save us. So that's awesome. So let me go back up here. Let me come back here and do comma 8, comma 1 right there. And let's load that one. And this one is taking a little bit of time to load. Okay, so let's pop down here and let's run and see what this game looks like. Dr. Worro Industries presents Shadow Switcher. Play the game, watch. Okay, now this is, I'm going to show you guys this. If you're not familiar, this is nice. So right now, the joystick appears not to be working. Now I could unplug it and plug it in, but what we can do with the switch, with the freezer, which I just love this. This is one of my favorite features, actually, is I can hit J and I can swap to the other joystick. I can hit F3 to resume, and now I can move through. So here's a demo. Let's watch the demo, because I'm sure the demo will be better than me playing. And while the demo's playing, you can take a look at that, and I will take a look at the chat. Shadow Switcher is great. Good, excellent. Glad that's good. I'm gonna, matter of fact, I do need to play this. I love that this includes a demo though, because of so many games you're trying to figure out what you need to do, and at least if you sit here and watch, you can kind of figure out what the game is. So that is pretty nice. So that is Shadow Switcher. You know what? I want to do one more. I know I keep saying I'm going to leave, but I really want to do one more. So let's do one more just for all of you. And I want to do spikes. So let's do that one right there. Comma 8, comma 1. We'll do this. Hit enter, and we are going to run spikes before we get out of here. Oh, this is interesting. Coding, Mega Style, press fire. This is very interesting. Again, got my Hyperkin joystick. Again, love this joystick. Again, 9-pin DIN, just plugs right in, which is good. And oh, what in the world was that? Holy cow. Oh, that's cool how you can flip back and forth with the shadow. Yes, yeah, it is. Let's see what I need to do. Press fire. I don't know what I'm doing. This is interesting. Oh, there we go. You gotta hit the button. Oh, it's a Flappy Birds thing, and I'm not good at Flappy Birds. Oh, so that was 1. Oh, almost, I got the 2. Hey, I got the 2 that time. I got this. Oh, 3. Okay, so I got the 3, so that's good. So hey, that's kind of a nice game. I like that. Plays really well too, but it is kind of a Flappy Bird. So what you do is you keep yourself hovering and moving so that you don't hit the spikes either at the top or the bottom, which seems like they're there all the time. The ones on the right and back, they kick back. All right. So that was our live stream on Super Bowl Sunday today. I want to thank all the folks who joined me in chat today. I also want to thank Mislav for sending me a nice little thanks down there. Really appreciate him doing that. But just a blast. And again, I really enjoy these, not because I get to sit here and play the games, but I enjoy it for the conversation. You all are super. And I really appreciate Deft and a few of you with dev kits coming over and helping me work through some of this. So I am going to do like I always do and close this out. I'm going to leave it live for just a little bit. We'll close out the chat. I'm going to join the chat for a few minutes and see what's going on in there, get caught up, and would love to, again, let me know if you want me to do another stream where I cover the rest of the demos. I think I want to, but I just want to make sure that that's what you want. And I do have some other ideas too. And again, I'm going to be coming back to that Sonar program in some way. But again, one last time, I am editing a video probably during the Super Bowl because I can do it on my MacBook. And the video is, I think, going to be just a fun exercise entitled Why My MEGA65, 10 Reasons My MEGA65 is Better Than My MacBook Pro. And some of you are going to agree with the list and some of you are not. So because you join the live stream, you get a little preview of what's to come for my next produced video, if it's produced, but I think it's pretty fun. And you do get a lot of MEGA65 demo stuff in there as well. So it should be good. And hey, getting excited. This is February. In March, keeping those fingers crossed, this thing may end up at our door. And again, I do plan when it arrives for me, we will unbox it together. I will not unbox it until I'm live. So I will resist the temptation so that each of you can kind of share that moment with me. We'll set it up, we'll use it, we'll turn it on so you get to see exactly what it looks like. Hopefully Deft will be here for that too in case I run into issues. I don't suspect I will since I have the dev kit, but it's just going to be a blast. It's going to be like Christmas, but it's going to be Easter. So with that, I will just say, as I always do, Retro Combs out. Have a happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. And I'm going to finish up in the chat. Good to have you here.